Hello, everybody, and welcome to IC Markets Market Commentary. My name is Tamar Mehr from Trade with Precision. So the risk-on rally driven by a ceasefire and the hope of reopening the Strait of Hormuz saw the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq close the week at an all-time high. However, over the weekend, Iran declared that the straits are officially closed and again threatened the passage of commercial shipping. So I want to start here with a chart of the S&P 500 on the daily, and we can see the strong bullish move from a lower low to a higher high. We are also very overextended, meaning there is quite a distance between where price action sits right now and the moving averages. We can also see that the market smashed through the previous all-time high, the strong level of 7,000. It is also a round number and continue to push higher. But if we take a look here on the monthly chart, we can see on the monthly that the sharp push lower was simply a pullback to the averages in the context of the higher time frame, and from the buy zone, the area between the 10 and the 20 moving averages, we have been pushing to a new higher high. So for potential bullish opportunities on this market, I'll be looking for a pullback to test the 7,000 level from above. If the market will break through this level, the next area that I'll be interested in is in and around the 68.30 area. We can see once again a couple of touches at that level in the past. So I'm looking for a bit of release of this strong buying pressure, signs that the pullback is over, such as a bullish candle in the buy zone, and then a continuation of this move. Similar story is the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq again moved from this lower low to an all-time high and a new higher high. If we'll take a look here on the monthly, we are still in an uptrend. We can see we pull back into the buy zone and now we have a move away. So the levels that I'm interested on the Nasdaq for a pullback, the top one sits around the 26,200, but it's quite close to where we are and we are still very overextended. So my preferred area sits around the 25,400. We can see we had a couple of touches at that area. And if we'll jump into the weekly quickly, we can see that we had two touches at the top level, but the more recent touches at a resistance level was sitting around the 25,400. So this is my preferred area for a pullback. Another level that caught my eye is on dollar yen. Now, dollar yen here, the level is 157.50 area, and we can see it has been support in the past, resistance, support again, resistance, and this is recently on the daily chart. Now, if we take a look here on the weekly chart, we can see that in and around that level, we had bullish rejection candles. So every time we came closer to that area, more buyers came into the market and tried to push the price higher. However, we haven't been able to go above that 160 area level as well. So if we go back into the daily chart, I am looking for potential bearish opportunities for compressions of price. So currently the market is making lower highs here on the daily chart and lower lows. So what I'm looking for is more compressions of price. We're still sitting high above that level. So I'm looking for equal lows and lower highs. If I'll get that compression, I'll either be looking for a break of that level and a continuation of this move. But if that compression will not be precise, I'll be looking for a break and a close below that area, and then I'll be looking for a pullback to test this level from below. If, however, the market will break through that area and completely reject that break, then I'll be looking for potential bullish opportunities toward the 160 level. Lastly, let's take a look at the chart of crude oil. And as the hope of the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, we saw the price of crude oil being sold off, and we are back now into the level of 85. So we are officially in a downtrend here on the daily chart, and we also broke the previous swing low here as well. So if we'll take a look on the weekly, we can see that this was the high that was formed on the weekly chart, but we haven't been able to push to a higher high. So even though the moving averages 10, 20, 50 are still fanning and in the correct order for an uptrend, we actually have here a downtrend on the weekly chart. But despite all that, this market moves according to the news. So for potential bullish opportunities, I'd like to drill into the lower time frame and see some sort of a change of trend before looking for opportunities on this market. I like the fact that we are back into an important level, but we can also see the market pushing lower toward the next level of 80, which is why I first want to see signs that we have a proper change of direction from the lower time frame. Happy trading, everyone. Bye for now.